bless the bed that I lie on. If I die before I wake, ask holy God my soul to take. He peered from behind clasped hands at his mother kneeling beside him in the candlelight. Under a burnished coif of coiled hair, her face was pale and still, like the face of the Madonna in the picture. Her eyes were closed, and her lips moved, mouthing mutely the pious lines as he recited them aloud. When he stumbled on the hard words, she bore him up gently in a wonderfully gentle voice. He loved her the best, he said. She rocked him in her arms and sang a song. See-saw Marjorie Daw, this little chicken got lost in the straw. He liked to lie in bed awake, listening to the furtive noises of the night all around him, the creaks and groans and abrupt, muffled cracks, which he imagined were the voice of the house complaining as, braced under the weight of the enormous darkness outside, it stealthily stretched and shifted the aching bones of its back. The wind sang in the chimney, the rain drummed on the roof, the linden tree tapped and tapped, tap, tap, tap. He was warm. In the room below his room, his mother and father were talking, telling each other of their doings that day abroad in the world. How could they be so calm and speak so softly, when surely they had such fabulous tales to recount? Their voices were like the voice of sleep itself, calling him away. There were other voices, of church bells gravely tolling the hours, of dogs that barked afar, and of the river too, though that was not so much a voice as a huge, dark, liquidy, faintly frightening rushing in the darkness that was felt, not heard. All called him to sleep. He slept. But sometimes Andreas in the bed in the corner made strange noises and woke him up again. Andreas was his older brother. He had bad dreams. The children played games together. There was hide-and-seek and hide-the-linger, jackstones and giant steps, and others that had no names. Katerina, who was older than Andreas, soon came to despise such childish frivolity. Andreas, too, grew tired of play. He lived in his own silent, troubled world, from whence he rarely emerged, and when he did, it was only to pounce on them, pummeling and pinching or twisting an arm, smiling with eyes glittering before withdrawing again as swiftly as he had come. Barbara, alone, although she was the eldest of the four, was always glad of the excuse to abandon her gawky height and chase her little brother on all fours about the floor and under the tables, grinning and growling like a happy hound, all jaws and paws and raggedy fur. It was Barbara that he loved the best, really, although he did not tell anyone, even her. She was going to be a nun. She told him about God, who resembled her strangely, an amiable, loving and sad person given to losing things and dropping things. He it was, struggling to hold aloft so much, that fumbled and let fall their mother from out his tender embrace. That was an awful day. The house seemed full of old women and the dreary sound of weeping. His father's face, usually so stern and set, was shockingly naked, all pink and grey and shiny. Even Katerina and Andreas were polite to each other. They paced about the rooms with measured tread, emulating their elders, bowing their heads and clasping their hands and speaking in soft, stiff, formal voices. It was all very alarming. His mother was laid out upon her bed, her jaw bound fast with a white rag. She was utterly, uniquely still, and seemed, in this unique, utter stillness, to have arrived at last at a true and total definition of what she was, herself, her vivid self itself. Everything around her, even the living creatures coming and going, appeared vague and unfinished compared with her stark there-ness. And yet she was dead. She was no longer his mother, who was in heaven. So they told him. But if that was so, then what was this thing that remained? They took it away and buried it, and in time he forgot what it was that had puzzled him. Now his father loomed large in his life. With his wife's death he had changed, or rather the change that her departure had wrought in the life of the household left him stranded in an old, discarded world, so that he trod with clumsy feet among the family's new preoccupations, like a faintly comical, faintly